Evening, everybody. It is that time again. It is a Wednesday evening, and I am joined by Mr. JJ Dub, and I myself, obviously, Samtastic29. Some of you are familiar with us by now, but welcome to Turnbuckle Talk, where we, just between the two of us, chat shit about wrestling, specifically WWE and the happenings and our opinions. Just two friends with opinions on the wrestling world with a passion for the sport. JJ, how have you been, my man? How's the week treated you since the last episode?
Yeah, not too bad, my man. Not too bad. It's been hot. I feel like I am sitting in hell right now. I am that sweaty. I feel like I'm melting. I'm stuck to my chair right now. So yeah, well, it's one
Yeah,
of those
I feel
weeks.
that. It's been a long week, right? I was just saying this to you before we started recording. It's been a long week. It feels like this last week has been super long and really dragged for some reason.
Wednesday, and it feels like it's Friday. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, exactly that. But yet here we are still with 2 more days of work or the working week left. And then obviously roll on to the weekends. But yeah, lots of interesting points to bring up in tonight's episode.
Crazy weekend.
I'm just going to go straight into it. Let's go in to, I think, the biggest highlight of Smackdown, and we've been asking for weeks, where was he? And here he is. He finally appears. Mr. Jacob Fatu is finally here and has joined the Bloodline, and what a fucking impact he made. What a way to come in.
Huge impact. It was like he come in like a tsunami. Literally.
Oh, mate. And to throw himself and KO through the announce table, to dive. I mean, he wanted to make an impact, clearly. Clearly, he was like, okay, this is my chance, and he's running with it. They're saying, right, you're going to go out there this week and do, and he's run with it, and you could see that he was just like, yeah, I'm here, and I'm going to show you I'm here.
We thought Tamatonga was unhinged, but this guy is something completely different.
Yeah,
like,
I think
the way he ate the super kick from Kevin Owens,
yeah,
and then just went, no, I'm going to give you one back on my own. Watch this.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just the build up to it as well, though. Like with Solo sitting in the corner, and then he just gave that look like he was possessed or something. Like he was getting an exorcism, and he just looked up and gave some weird ass smile, and it's just a bit like, that's a
always
bit
when
weird.
You see that
why are you smiling?
Isn't it? Yeah,
it's 3-on-1 here. Like, why are you smiling at us? We should be smiling at you. And then boom, like, whoa, statement made.
I'm glad he's finally here. But it's going to be interesting to see. And we touched on this every week. And when I was streaming yesterday, before you popped into the stream, actually, someone was saying to me in my stream on Twitch, where the hell's Jimmy? What is going to happen? Because obviously Jimmy hasn't been seen since the Friday after WrestleMania when he lost to Jay, and obviously they gave him a bit of a massive beatdown for losing because it has consequences. Yet Solo doesn't seem to have any consequences, and he's lost over 40 matches. But that's another story. But yeah, like I said, this guy is absolutely unhinged. But it's going to be interesting to see that when Jimmy comes back, what's going to happen? Does he come to SmackDown? Because he was drafted to SmackDown, right? He was still listed on the picture.
I'm a bit
with the Bloodline,
I'm a bit confused by it all now, because I don't really know what the Bloodline is when you look at the draft, if you know what I mean. Now that
this is it, yeah.
The new version
it's changed
from Solo,
so much.
You've got no Roman, and obviously after Solo's little comment to Heyman, Roman isn't coming back. What's he mean by that? Where's that leading to? Does it mean he isn't coming back to this Bloodline, or he isn't coming back to SmackDown?
Or is he not coming back to WWE at all?
It's
a lot. Again, the one thing that we've touched on every week is there's a lot going on, but there's a lot of unanswered questions. It's so open.
Right, that was such a statement to make from Solo.
Yeah.
By announcing that the actual tribal chief isn't coming back. But what do you mean by that? He isn't coming? Because even Heyman was just like, what does that mean? Like, what?
Yeah, yeah, you can see it in his face. And again, Heyman's picture. Heyman doesn't even need to say anything. His face tells the story in so many ways, just from his reaction and his body language. He's so good at portraying that.
He's like warning.
I loved this segment.
He come out with
Punk when he came out to Punk. Yeah,
that was great.
It was nice and humble to see that he was happy to see Punk, but you could see in his face is like, you dude, you got to leave. I love you. I don't want to see you get hurt. You please leave. Please leave.
I thought that was like, again, another masterclass from Punk on the mic though, with the whole.
But again,
I acknowledge the fact that you are just some fake ass Usos.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love that comment. And I love it because that's what everybody's thinking, I think, to a degree. Because although you've got Tama Tonga that's unhinged, and then you've got unhinged, and then you've got Tonga Loa that he's done little bits, but we haven't seen him completely unhinged. We kind of know what he's capable of, but we haven't seen the full extent.
He's very reserved at the moment.
But then how does that work now? Because obviously Jimmy and Jay are Fatus. Jacob's a Fatu. And you're calling them, and you're saying that the group is fake ass Usos. It's and we still haven't seen anything with Jay lead from the bloodline, because obviously we saw his championship match at Backlash, and they gave him that look backstage, and we still haven't seen anything develop from there.
No, because it's interesting, but and then obviously with Money in the Bank coming up, they're obviously not in it now after their failures, so something could lead towards it, because to them to cost Jay or try and do something in order to snatch the briefcase.
Oh, I fucking hope not. I hope they don't intervene on Jay. For God's sake, the man finally deserves something. He deserves something, for God's sake.
Yeah, I don't know where. They've with Fatu coming out, they've hit the angle perfectly, because now we're sort of stuck in that. Well, now there's 4 of them. What's going to happen? Because Roman, Jimmy's still unavailable.
But the thing is as well, and they're still called the Bloodline, but there's no, other than Solo and Jacob now, there's no direct bloodline. You know, you got Tongaloa and Tama Tonga that are sons of Haku. And then you've got Jacob Fatu, who's cousins with Solo, and obviously related directly to Jimmy and Jay, and then they're cousins with Roman. But I get that there's that Samoan dynasty, there is that distance of relatives, but they're not the direct bloodline that we started out with. No, but maybe that's a good thing. But you know, with Solo branching out to the rest of the family, I mean, like Bubba Ray said, this is for your 97 cousins.
We've still got Zilla Fatu, because he's been posting some cryptic stuff on Instagram. So it's interesting. And then you've got you've got the other one, Hikayo, Hikayo, that's it. He's
I think that's how you pronounce it.
He's already signed, so he could appear somewhere.
Well, because they've already applied for the trademark now, haven't they?
Yeah,
WWE have already applied for the trademark of that name as well.
More, so it's whether or not them two are coming into it, and they're going to team up with Roman and Jimmy, and Jay's just going to possibly be left out of it completely.
Yeah, potentially.
But then you've got 4 on 4, but then when The Rock comes back, maybe then that leads to Jay coming into it. But
I'm not so sure The Rock. So sure The Rock's in it for the bloodline. I think The Rock is literally in it for himself. I think he wants to come back for Cody, and that's the only reason he's going to come back. I don't think he's in it for the bloodline.
I'll be happy if it's like that, because it would be a bit of a better storyline, that it's more personal, because obviously of what
I think so. I don't think
on their build up and what's gone
personally,
on.
I don't. Yeah, I think The Rock was there to try and help Roman and change, because obviously they had that angle where Cody had handed The Rock the title opportunity after winning the Rumble, and then changed it, and then obviously that was the perfect angle to set up Cody and The Rock later on, because they could have that battle within the Bloodline story. But I don't think The Rock needs to come back to join the Bloodline. I think he'd be better coming back just for Cody, just for that storyline.
No, it would be, like I say, a better personal storyline as opposed to him jumping back onto the Bloodline bandwagon and taking the limelight away from what it actually is, because it would be more centered around him as opposed to everyone else that's involved.
Exactly. That's what I think. I think that's the best way to go about it.
It was fine within the way he done it on the build up to WrestleMania, because it didn't take the limelight away from Roman, because it was putting Roman more in the spotlight. And then Jimmy and Solo were always backing dancers, so they were never. You've not taken anything away from them. You've given Solo really a bit more, because he was always he was the enforcer, so they pushed him a little bit more.
And you could see as time went on, he was starting to get more mic time. He was starting to do a bit more, so we knew that was going to come. And obviously Roman had made it clear that when he stepped away, Solo was next in line. We knew that was coming, so we saw that filter through. But like you say, they did it really well, in the sense that The Rock being there didn't overshadow the rest of the storyline, and the Bloodline was able to continue without The Rock. And actually, we've seen that the crowds and the fan base have said, well, actually, we want Roman. So they were never really interested in The Rock being there. It was good to have The Rock back there for the heel turn and for the hype. And obviously he brought a lot more attention to the product again, as he always does. But definitely, I think they played it the right way. But I think
it was all a business plan, because it was obviously promoting the Triple H era. So if you get The Rock involved with his status right now, then you're bringing all the eyes to the product, and you're building the product, and you're able to then, like they did, make WrestleMania what it was.
Yeah, and WrestleMania was great. It was great. It was good.
Yeah, I'm more happy to let the Bloodline be the Bloodline in this new war that they're going into, civil war as everyone keeps calling it.
Yeah, and I agree, but who are they going to civil war with?
Well, it's obviously Roman and Jimmy. They're two certs. But I think Jay could possibly be left out of it completely at this stage.
I mean, I think he has to be at this stage, because obviously
he's a Raw guy anyway.
He took himself out of the Bloodline because he attacked Roman, went for the title. Then obviously he left SmackDown and went to Raw at the hands of Cody, helping him come to Raw. And we've not really seen him have interaction since.
There's an opportunity.
Brands.
If he wins Money in the Bank, he targets the SmackDown Championship, and then obviously he comes back over.
Does he target Cody though?
Well, will Cody be? I mean, SmackDown Championship, because we don't know if Cody's going to be champion when he wants to cash in.
So if Cody is champion, does he go for Cody? Is this a heel turn for Jay? Is this a case of that he's going to turn heel and take the gold back to the Bloodline, or is he gonna do it out of respect for Cody and say, well, actually, I'm not going to cash it in behind your back, but I'm cashing it in because I want to face you for the title?
I think it's a bit like
Cena. Do you remember when John Cena turned around and then in advance warning he gave CM Punk a week and said, I'm cashing in next week? Maybe he's going to do that to Cody out of respect for everything Cody's done for him. And then if he wins, maybe the Bloodline try and entice him back. I mean, it's so open, isn't it?
I see it as a better move if Jay was to win it, because if you look at Raw now, you've obviously had Seth return. You've got Damian Priest, you've got Drew McIntyre, and you've got Gunther. Yeah. There's no way he's getting in front of them four guys anytime soon.
No.
And
I think so. And Drew McIntyre's now obviously said that he's going into Money in the Bank as well. So that's another name. I mean, obviously he's got to qualify first, and we know that he's going to qualify. I think that's pretty obvious.
Interesting.
That he'll qualify.
Yeah, that obviously on Drew McIntyre, his sensational appearance at Smackdown was very interesting. It was such a clever move by WWE, because not
absolutely.
only have you now given Drew back from what he lost in Glasgow, because obviously he's now dismantled Punk in front of his home crowd and stole the bracelet
from the fan
from him
with your stupid looking dog and your wife.
And
God, man's cooking, isn't he?
Like it was just the perfect angle for him to hit back.
Yeah.
And that, but on the upside, on the downside, sorry, how long's Punk going to be out for again now?
Well, I mean, this is the thing. Has he actually injured Punk? Or is it a work to add it on top to build that suspense?
Because we never actually he was injured. Heard he got clearance either. So we don't even know if he's medically cleared from before.
So it could be. I mean, look at the post-interview at Clash at the Castle. He sat there and said, "Oh, we didn't know you were cleared." And he said, "Well, I was cleared to do referee duties." But that's all he said. He hasn't given a clear indication as to when he is likely to come back, how his progression is going with the tricep injury.
I just love how real this rivalry is, though. Like, it's being made to be very personal. It's going back to like the John Cena Edge rivalry. Like that was
Well, that's what I love about the LA Knight angle with Logan Paul as well, because obviously Edge went to John Cena Senior's house and attacked him. John Cena went to the hotel room and attacked Edge, and it was back and forth. And I love the whole LA Knight showing up at Logan Paul's house. I like the fact that he went to AJ Styles' house when they were having their feud as well. I love that. I love that old school.
You're bringing personal rivalries back into it. That's not just not just a mic showdown in the ring. It's in public spaces. It's bringing family members.
Well, and I think one of my favourite public rivalries was, and it's famous for it, is Booker T and Stone Cold in the supermarket.
Yeah, that was perfect. Yeah, brilliant.
I think it's fantastic. And the supermarket had no idea it was happening. It was so perfectly done, because people in the supermarket had no idea what was going on. It was great,
flying everywhere, smashed out.
Exactly.
But yeah, those were great, and obviously Rock and Stone Cold had their moments. Obviously with the bridge, like that. To that extent, obviously Cena Edge, and then you got them going into the Hudson River.
Yep.
Like you're back. It's back to.
It grips you, doesn't it? Because it hits you on a personal level, like you say.
You feel
it makes you invested. Yeah, exactly. And with that, going on to the other personal promo that I spoke to you about, and I know we've only spoken to each other about it via WhatsApp or Discord so far, rather than having a chat like this. But that Bo Dallas segment on Raw with Uncle Howdy was, I mean, how deep do you want to go? That was genuine, heartfelt emotion mixed with passion for the business, love for his brother. And I mean, that teared me up. I won't lie, I've got no shame about it. When Uncle Howdy asked him about Bray, and Bo started telling, there's no one in the world that will ever feel the way that I do. I feel like a part of me was taken and that I lost myself. Just absolutely smacked me in the heart.
Every question that obviously he posed in it was just straight up. There was no like tallying around it. There was no It was just straight up like, how has the death affected you? How do you feel that your brother's dead? Like, it's like, whoa. Like,
I know. But the great thing is that Bo, is having creative control over this. And he's already said in an interview that he is drawing from personal pain and personal trauma and, bouts of depression that he's lived in the past. Excuse me. And he is putting that 100% into Uncle Howdy. And you can see that from that segment. You can see in his eyes, he's like, I'm asking myself this. Obviously, it's Uncle Howdy. I'm asking myself this question. as somebody else. But you could see the way that he was answering this fucking hits.
Yeah, it's quite interesting though, the start of the whole angle, because obviously they delivered the VHS tape
That
to Cole.
video to Michael. I mean, Cole was
addressed to
shitting himself,
Pat.
was he not?
It was addressed to Pat though, who obviously wasn't
Yes,
there.
but who's not there
But
yet.
if you look on the show, Pat McAfee show just before, they've been taking over. Not just the once, they've done it 3 times now. They've
A
done it when
few
Triple
times,
H was
yeah.
on there the other day. They've done it when
Yeah,
Triple
yeah.
H was on there as well. So they're weirdly targeting Pat, but for what reason, I have no idea. And I
That's the
love
thing.
how they're taking
What's the
it
reason behind it?
out of WWE as well. They're
Yeah,
bringing
because
it
again, it adds that personal
roundhouse.
touch. And Pat has got such a big audience for the Pat McAfee show on his podcast and what he does outside of WWE. That's crazy. And the fact that they've gone to Pat and said, right, this is what we want to do, and Pat's like, hell yeah, I want to do it. I mean, like he said to Triple H the other day, I always wanted to be a wrestler. He said I bought a ring when I was in the NFL getting ready to leave. He said that shit hurts. He said I bought a ring, it took us 8 hours to put it together, me and a few buddies. He said I run the ropes, this is going to be fun. He said I ran the ropes, I was like, fuck, this hurts. He's like, I do an elbow in the middle of the ring, I did a people's elbow and every bone in my body cracked.
Yeah, because he was we'll set it up in here and we'll get it going.
Yeah. And he was like, I wish I never did it. But I love this angle. So far from what I've seen with the Wyatt 6, they have executed it perfectly.
They've got to keep it going slow.
Yeah.
They cannot push anything
no, you don't
too
want to go
fast.
full steam ahead.
If they push it too fast, too far, it's going to fall on its head and it's going to be horrible.
Absolutely.
The best thing they could probably do is probably let them miss a couple of shows now, just to keep people on edge, and then all of a sudden come back with another big bang.
I think so. I think you're right. Yeah, I agree.
If they're going to do something week in, week out, it's going to go stale again. As much as it's going to go
exactly,
it's not going to make sense. They need to drop off.
Yeah, I think so. I think they need that bit of, we're here. We've let you know that we're here. I mean, like this week, who was there? You didn't see anybody in the flesh other than Sister Abigail, and she obviously came in the ring, chased Gable out. I love that. I love the fact that they came out at the end of Gable's match after what happened to Gable last week. I think that was great. Also, GG's to Chad Gable for qualifying for Money in the Bank. Definitely deserved.
Well, but I mean, when you die the week before and then you come back to life a week later and win Money in the Bank,
you've been resurrected and you win the qualifier match. Yeah, exactly.
Fair play. Dead for a week.
Absolutely. But yeah, I love the fact that we only saw one of them, and I like that, because if you see all of them together constantly, it's good, but it will get a bit tedious and become a bit stale, and they don't want to overplay their hand. You need to do dribs and drabs, and like you say, if we don't see them next week, it's not a bad thing by any means.
Even if they just leave little Easter eggs about, you see a doll in someone's locker when they open it, or
if Alexa Bliss comes back, which is rumored, by the way,
little teases like that will be fine, because they're not on air, they're not doing nothing, so it's not damaging themselves and
if they say for example Rambling Rabbit accidentally leaves his sledgehammer somewhere upside down standing, you can just see "help me" written upside down. Even just something like that people are going to pick up on would be fantastic, or like a rabbit's foot or a pigtail or something, something to do with each of the characters. And like with Alexa Bliss, if Alexa Bliss is coming back, which is rumored, the doll that she had, they could leave little glimpses of her, or just I don't know how they would do it, but like you say, just something, just a little Easter egg, just to remind you they might not be here in person this week, but they're here.
They're just always watching.
Yeah, exactly. So, that
just puts the locker room on alert, because it's right, I can't do anything I shouldn't, I can't hurt no one because I'm being watched here, what's going on?
Yeah,
So
and
it keeps everyone on edge. It makes everyone a bit more nervy around the place.
I think so. Yeah, exactly, and I think that's exactly what you need, right? You need people to be on edge. That if this Uncle Howdy character does come out and he is face to face with someone, you want them, no matter who they are, to be absolutely terrified and cacking their pants. Like, what the hell do I do? Where do I go? How can I get away from this man?
It's here that no one knows who their next victim is. It's like, so then that's what I mean, where it like leave everyone on edge because they don't know who's behind them. Like if they're looking over their shoulder all the time,
and
it's like,
if they play it right, they're going to do not only justice just to the segment in general, but to Bray's legacy and what he started. And I don't think it's just because they're related, but Bo is the perfect person for it. I mean, actually, maybe it is because he's related, because he's got that direct link to Bray. He is hurting because of the loss of Bray more than most people. I think as a fan, it's safe to say it's affected a lot of people. When I heard the news, I was like, oh shit. And, I was like, what? That's crazy. It blew my mind. And he can channel that, which he's already starting to show that he can do that. And I think he's playing it so well. And, I think all those years of Bo leaving, he's finally in that limelight where he perhaps should have been years ago. Bo he's always been a solid in-ring performer.
But he was always used as a gimmick, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, if you look at him with the Bo Leave and the B team and, with Curtis Axel and stuff like that, he was used a bit of a gimmick, and it is a shame. And it's so good that Bray got the chance to get away from that gimmick, because if you look at him as Husky Harris in the Nexus, when the Nexus came along and NXT, he's not someone you would have remembered. But then when he came back as Bray Wyatt, and he came back as the Eater of the Worlds, and he used to start singing, he's got the whole world
on his little
in his
chair, rocking chair,
and he had his rocking chair, and he came out with the blood, the Bludgeon Brothers with Harper and Rowan, was fantastic. And I love the fact that he used to dress like he's from the Bayou. Like, he had that summer shirt with the white linen trousers, the cowboy boots, the Bayou
hat.
I loved every bit of it. I really did.
Yes, they need to slowly build them up, and because there's no need to push them into any matches or any fierce rivalry. Just for a little while, just get them knocking on people's doors, basically, and get them worried.
It's testing the waters, isn't it? That you've got to dip the toes in the water and slowly and gradually just get deeper and deeper into it. And like you say, they don't need a rivalry. Casey pointed out on my stream yesterday, they don't need gold. They don't need gold, and you could ruin them actually if you gave them gold.
You would as well.
They're so prevalent. Yeah,
they're not a faction so prevalent that needs
as they are. No,
they don't need to target anything like that.
Well, this is the thing, and if they're looking at targeting people that have forgotten their way, for example, like with Chad Gable, you've stopped saying thank you and stuff like this, and you've kind of forgotten who you are, then the next person they should really be looking at is probably, I don't know, who would they be looking at next? There's quite a few people that are kind of, Ludwig is one of them in a sense if he's drifting away from Gunther, but then again, Ludwig is tied up with Braun Breaker and Sheamus, and this whole feud with them. And I mean, there's so many possibilities where they could go, okay, well, we're just going to come out the blue and we're going to come after you because you haven't been the person that you say you are, and you're fake, and we want to remind you of who you actually are.
Yes. It will be interesting. I think this is the best thing about it, though, because it gets people constantly guessing and constantly thinking. Whereas where I feel if you leave them off air for a couple of weeks, then it's like there's more suspense to when they do appear.
Exactly, because then you have no idea at all. Like, obviously, we've seen the segment with Bo Bo being interviewed by Uncle Howdy, and that segment we've seen Nikki appear on her own as Sister Abigail to deliver the VHS tape, and then you've got these other three people that are still like, where are they? Who's coming out? So yeah, I think so. I think if you, like, in a week's time or so, So leave it for this week, and then the next week after, maybe you have, I don't know, Joe Gacy or Dexter Lumis just appear in the crowd just to keep an eye on a match, to give you a kind of, well, who are they after in this match? Like if they had a 3-way, if they had a triple threat, and they're watching the match intently, that just, it's like, well, who the fuck are they going for? Leaves it so open.
Yeah, big time. Yes, I'm glad they're here, and
I am.
I'm glad that we've had 2 very strong weeks from them in
Yeah.
obviously their debut, and then
But that trend needs to
this build
continue,
up.
like you say.
And yeah, we'll hopefully get
I hope so.
something
I hope so.
big,
Yeah.
big from
It's
them
going to be
before.
interesting. I mean, like we said, we both said it. It was becoming a bit tedious and boring. They built it up for months that they were coming. We knew they were coming. We all knew who it was going to be playing each part, which was great. And I think they're gonna smash it out of the park. They're all going to do really well. And I'm so grateful they're finally here, because they have hit the nail on the head. They've delivered it perfectly so far. I don't think I would have changed anything about it right now. It's just going to be interesting to see how they play it to keep that suspense, that drama, and that intenseness there.
Yeah, the long-term storytelling of this is
Yeah.
going to be very interesting.
Yeah, exactly
Because
that.
it's
Because you don't want
no
it.
short stint.
Yeah,
This is something that's been like Bray had in the pipeline
yeah,
to last a long, long time.
exactly.
So
So
it's
if
now
they're
time to
taking it from
deliver.
his, yeah, exactly, and if they're taking it from his input and everything that he would have put towards it while he was alive, and notes that he would have had about it, like I touched on last week, he would have had everything drawn up, surely. And surely they're reading that going, fucking hell, because he was a creative genius, let's face it. Everything that he did, Fiend and Flood and House and everything like that, was crazy, but on another level of incredible on a storytelling side for the wrestling world.
That's me. So yeah, it's looking forward to the weeks ahead on that. But what
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, so interesting. 2 interesting. Well, I say 3 actually. 2 from the men's, 1 from the women's. On people that have now qualified for Money in the Bank. First of all, Chelsea Green. Where did that come from? Out of the 3 in the ring, she was the last. I would have thought the ref would have qualified before her.
I didn't think it would have been Bianca. Michina has obviously had a bit of a push recently in NXT. She's been a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? She's been not pushed, but she's been a lot more visible, let's say, on telly with regards to NXT. They have given her a little bit of a push, and they're giving her more time on TV and stuff like that. I would have thought it might have been her rather than Bianca. I honestly didn't think Chelsea. I'm happy it's Chelsea. Don't get me wrong. We've both said this. I don't like Chelsea's character. I think Chelsea's character is one of those characters that's overplayed, has been for a long time. I get it could be her. It could, she could be channeling her in herself, and that's no disrespect to her as a person. But we've seen
She's
that
always
so
been
many times.
just hiding behind Piper, hasn't she? That's all she's ever
Yeah,
done.
recently she has been, exactly. And she does have, a reasonable in-ring ability. If she didn't, she wouldn't be in the WWE, let's face it. But yeah, I was surprised. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where they go if she comes close to winning it at Money in the Bank. If she wins it at Money in the Bank, I mean, could you imagine that'd be a piss take to Piper? Oh, you lose the championship, but Chelsea's now got a guaranteed shot at any point in time that we tell her within the next
She's also
365
said
days.
as well, if she wins it, she's going to, and then
Go for Bailey.
if she wins the title, she's going to bring back the Divas Championship.
No, they can't do that. No,
That's
don't
what
let her
she
win it
wants
then.
to do. That's what she wants
Don't
to
let her
do.
win it. It's a horrible championship, and I think the Divas Championship got desecrated in such a way because of what Paige did to it.
It's just a gimmick
and it was just a
title.
novelty. It was, yeah, exactly. It was a gimmick title. It was like the 24/7 Championship. It's like the Speed Championship. It was there for an era where it was okay. It wasn't. I don't want to say okay because I'm going to say it as it is. It was okay to go around going, oh, look at the puppies, and they look like 2 puppies fighting under a duvet cover and stuff like this. Because the women in the wrestling industry at that time came in and wore more skimpy clothes, and it was about, you know, lingerie matches and being sex symbols and stuff like that. And that's what the Divas Championship was catered for those women in the industry at that time. That doesn't work now. There are no women in the industry right now that, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are women in the industry like that, you know, like in AEW and stuff, that are openly known to have OnlyFans and accounts and stuff like that away from wrestling. But it's not active in the wrestling scene. So to do a Divas Championship again would just piss on the women's division and just decredit it beyond what you can, beyond what it should. So for that reason, I hope she doesn't win. Just for that reason alone.
No,
I hope she doesn't win.
I can't see her winning it.
Do you know who I think is going to win? I'm calling it now, and I will not change my mind on it because I'm convinced of it. Lyra Valkyria.
I was going to say that is probably my favourite to win it at this point.
I think she's going to come in as the favourite. We don't know everybody. You're right. Before I know what you're going to say, we don't.
Yeah,
but she is my pick to win it.
No, she's a good shout. And she's got a history already with Liv. So to her to take that and carry that around, that would be something special for her. But
it's definitely going to be interesting to see who gets put in. And obviously at the moment we've got Lyra, Chelsea, Io Sky, and then we haven't had any qualifying matches on SmackDown yet, have we? Or am I missing the boat there?
We only had the Chelsea Green one. We've got Jade's.
Oh yeah, of course, Chelsea.
We've got Jade's. We got Triple Threat next week.
Yeah. Okay. So who's that? Jade.
You've got 2 more SmackDowns before Money in the Bank, so you're probably going to get 2 more matches and then 1 more on Raw. So that'll be the last 3.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure who Jade's obviously fighting, but you had Carmelo and Andrade qualify.
I love that Andrade's getting that push.
Carmelo's was a perfect victory because he beat Randy from the week before, when obviously Randy soft pinned it and rolled him up, didn't he?
Yeah.
So then he's rolled Randy to then win, and then when they looked at each other, and he was just like as if to say, "That's what happens in the business."
And Randy can't be angry at it because he's done it himself, and he knows that he would do it again and again and again. You know, that's how the business goes.
Yeah, because it was obviously intentions were the Bloodline didn't want Randy Orton to qualify from that match. So it was just take care of him. And obviously he was on course to win it until Tua come out.
Yeah.
Or Tua Longa. But until he come out and obviously tried to turn it. Then Kevin come out and obviously tried to stop him from interfering. Yeah, and then obviously distracted Randy. Because
obviously they interfered in Kevin's match as well. And Kevin tried to. Obviously they attacked Kevin when he was coming down the ramp. Randy came out and helped with the steel chair.
Yeah, down his leg, which obviously didn't help him throughout the match.
I mean, I'm glad that Grayson didn't win. I like Grayson, but Andrade, hopefully, this will. I mean, but it doesn't seem to have for Santos, right? If you look at this last year, Santos was being kind of elevated towards that US Championship. He lost it, then Ray stepped up and won it, and then he kind of turned himself because Carlito came here, and that whole LWO story started to spin, and Santos hasn't really had the time that he did have last year. So I'm hoping they don't do that with Andrade. I think even if he doesn't win Money in the Bank, I think this is the push they need to give him now to go, right, okay, we're going to push you up at least the upper mid card towards the IC Championship or something, towards that kind of level. And give him those matches that he needs and deserves.
Santos, though, he's sort of thrown himself in the US title hat. Obviously coming out to disrupt LA Knight.
Yeah.
And then, that's it, because that is the triple threat next week. For the men's, it's Logan Paul. I'm sure it's Logan Paul, LA Knight, and Santos in a qualifier.
Oh, really?
Which Santos Escobar is winning.
Potentially, yeah.
LA Knight's not winning it because he's going to be too busy with Logan
going
Paul.
after Logan,
It's
especially
more
after Logan hit him with
jumped
that
him.
right hand
Yeah,
and
that
took him out.
finisher, honestly, he needs a new finisher because that is absolutely dire.
I don't know whose idea was to give him this finisher, because they say, "Oh, he's a boxer. He's this." Logan Paul
not
has
even
never
a
knocked
boxing.
anyone out in his life. He
Yeah, but
lost
it's
to
not even a proper punch. It's more of like a slap slash.
Exactly. He lost to KSI, who can't box himself very well, and he admitted that he was not very good at boxing. But then he's got this titanium reinforced right hand.
But it's like, if you watch it, it's like it's like a finishing move
It's
on
an
like
overhand
a
slap.
video
It's
game.
like,
When you like hold down B, like you have to hold down for more power. So you're holding it down, ready
I
to
know what you
charge it
mean.
up
Yeah,
and
it's
come
like raising
across.
his hand the more you hold it. Yeah,
It's such a dire finisher,
it
honestly.
is. And if it was for somebody else, it might be better. But Logan Paul has got no credentials to have such a heavy right hand.
He needs a
to
high
be a
flying finisher because that's his
exactly. I mean, like,
that's
he
his moveset.
uses the frog splash. That should be his finisher.
Mm.
His finisher should be the frog splash.
Not this.
If he's gonna use a heavy right hand, use that heavy right hand to knock them down, and then finish with a frog splash. That's the only way that, in my mind, justifies him having an overhand right.
Yeah, it's just, honestly, when I saw it, and I was just like, oh, it looks even worse
Oh,
the way they angled it. But still, I was just like,
yeah.
That's terrible.
I mean, surely you would think that these wrestlers that he's doing it against, LA Knight, and and the people that he's done it against before, like Rey Mysterio and stuff, with their legacies and the time and effort and the amount of hours they've travelled around the world and the hardships they've gone through to get where they are, they must be thinking, I'm taking an overhand right from a 25-year-old YouTuber that has never knocked anyone out in their life, and I've got to act like I'm out cold.
Imagine this guy won a world title with that finisher. Like, that is embarrassing.
I know, yeah, exactly. And could you imagine if they set that up when he fought Roman for the Universal Championship at Crown Jewel?
Oh, and he won it with a slap.
If he had won that with that overhand slap, it would be fucked, right?
Yeah, it's an embarrassing finisher. Like, I hope they change it.
I hope so. I hope they do,
point.
because it doesn't make any sense for him to have it. Like you say, he's very athletic, and
like,
in fact, he also uses
everything, but the fucking finisher.
He utilizes that buckshot lariat as well, where he does a flip off the rope and then hits him with that. I mean, Adam Page uses that in AEW. Not many people can pull that off. CM Punk tried to pull it off in AEW against Adam Page and failed dramatically. Logan hits it every time, pretty much dead on. Even that, or the frog splash that he's using, should be his finisher, not that right hand.
No, it needs to be scrapped or reworked in some way. But
absolutely,
it can't go on. He's basically
makes sense if he's got the brass knucks, because he was using the brass knucks. You can understand if he's got the brass knucks on and he's going to hit someone, it's going to potentially knock him down.
Yeah, but not to come across like that, because he looks like some sort of anime character.
Yeah, he does. But again, is this Logan's decision? Is it Creative's decision? You don't know, do you? Until you know the facts. But
if you're going to do it how the Big Show had it, when you just literally knock someone out cold, like a proper smack across the jaw.
The WMD, absolutely.
Like, not this little fanny ass.
He's that windmilling, isn't he? And it's just the fact that he's going, come on.
Yeah. Like, he's hyping it up.
The unnecessary hype behind the world's poorest punch.
The only one that can hype up a punch is Roman with the Superman punch. At least that's like got a bit behind it, because he's actually making the punch come down and obviously clock the jaw.
And you see people use that in UFC and MMA, and it fucking knocks people out cold for sure.
Literally, like, it's a proper finisher.
Exactly.
Like,
I think that'll be a good triple threat match, though. I mean, but I likewise, I tend to agree with you. I think Logan and LA Knight will become so focused on each other that Santos will take advantage of that.
Yeah, and
I
obviously
think that would
with
be exactly what it would go down to.
yeah, I don't like if Logan and also if LA Knight's targeting Logan,
Yeah,
then LA Knight doesn't need the Money in the Bank briefcase. But then at the same time, he did say if he wins Money in the Bank, he's cashing in that. He's using it to cash in on Logan, which I thought was a bit odd.
why would you get him to do
But I don't
that?
know if it's like just a stunt, a PR stunt in a whole. Because obviously we thought
Yeah, because that makes
that
no sense. Because if you've got a guaranteed title shot at any time you
well, we
want,
thought Priest was going to use his on the Intercontinental, wasn't it? It was going to come down to.
well, I mean, we did think that, but then again, you can understand that to a degree with Gunter because he was so unstoppable that could have been at that time. That might have been the only way to take it from him.
But I don't know if this then makes their rivalry a bit more on that personal level because Logan,
Maybe,
LA Knight's then just saying that your gold is the only gold I want right now. I want to
yeah,
dethrone you. I want to put you out of the business. Like all
yeah.
this, it's he's taking it to a level where like he just wants to take everything from him, and if he has to do it that way, he will do it that way.
So he's just gonna go to any kind of extreme to get it done.
So yes,
I mean, I
just
see it.
basically
I do
say,
see it.
give me the title shot, and I'll beat you 1-on-1, fair and square.
Yeah,
Or I'm going to do it this way. That's the only thing I can think of on that
yeah.
on that front.
Speaking of gold and changing hands and a whole other storyline, Liv Morgan's really starting to wind me the fuck up.
I've told you every week. Finn Balor is up to something.
And I
It's
said this on
now
Instagram. Somebody was like, she's not. What did they say? She's not interested in helping Judgment Day. She just wants Dom. And I was like, no. And I replied to them saying, no, she doesn't want Dom. She wants Dom to hurt Rhea. That's all. But for an interest side of things, she wants Finn.
or it's not just that she wants Finn, are them two in cahoots. So in the fact that she's taking everything from Rhea, but at the same time she's helping Finn become leader of the Judgment
Re-establish
Day.
control. Well, he was initially, wasn't he? When they kicked Edge out, it was Finn that was there. You know, Finn
And
was
then
the initial one to take control after Edge. He was the
because
one that was like, right, we're going to kick Edge out.
I know I said previously that I still think Priest retains at Money in the Bank, but now I'm thinking after I saw this comment about Finn and Liv in cahoots, I was like, actually, this makes sense because with the stipulation that Seth's put in place, if Priest loses, he leaves the Judgment Day, and with Priest's comments that he keeps coming out with,
They want him out.
are
Judgment
Liv and
Day.
Finn going to do something to cost him the title? And then he's gone,
Well,
and he leaves the Judgment Day cleanly.
I mean, it's possible. And I mean, you go back to the whole start of this when Liv came back for the revenge tour, and you look at the hints and everything. So she's going after Dom because Rhea is Dom's Mary. But like we all know, Finn was the one that picked up the hotel card because he was questioned about it. Then this week, or the previous weeks, Finn's got involved and said leave him alone. No shouting, but directly involved. She's had a smile towards Finn. This week, Priest catches her leaving the rec room from Judgment Day, and then Finn's in there with a shocked look on his face, and it was just the two of them. She then comes down to Truth and distracts Truth for them to get the win. But when they're on the ramp, you look at the way Finn is smiling at Liv and vice versa. JD, Bobblehead Jim, is looking at her like, you know, what are you up to? Kind of confused and stuff. But Finn has just got a beam of light going through his face, lit up like a Christmas tree. So there's something going on with Finn and Liv. And maybe you're right. Maybe that comment is right. Maybe the theory of them being in cahoots together is potential for them to
Like it makes sense though,
extract
doesn't it?
Priest cleanly.
With
Yeah,
some of it
I mean
you've
it
seen,
does.
because obviously we've always seen that Finn is always looking at Priest as if to say,
Yeah,
you don't deserve what you've got. Like you're only there because obviously I let you be there. Like, and then Priest comments where he's saying that I don't need they need me more than I need them, and he said it more than once as well.
He has said it more than once, and he's been on this kind of ego trip since he won the title, thinking that he could do it without them. But yet, everything that he's done to date, winning the tag team titles with Finn, and everything he's done to build himself up and win Money in the Bank last year, has been with the help of the Judgment Day. And then all of a sudden, he gets help from CM Punk. He comes down at WrestleMania to cash in, and he still had that help from the Judgment Day. So yeah, the fact that he's saying that's not going to sit well with the likes of Finn. And Dom is so wrapped up in Liv at the moment anyway. I mean, look what he did to Ray this week. Ray pulled Zelina off of Liv, like pulled Liv off of Zelina, and then Dom
shoved Ray to the floor.
Ring. And then she sat there like, "Oh my god, he's in love with me. He saved me.
He saved me. He saved me." And it's just like give the wrong impression, but he's not done anything to like say, "Oh no, I didn't do it to save you." But he's just sort of like.
Whereas previously he said, "I want nothing to do with you. Stay away from me." Now he's kind of not saying anything. He's kind of giving an indication that he wants to protect her in the car. I mean, she's worming away in the Judgment Day. We knew it was going to happen, and she's slowly getting in there.
But that crowd was brilliant though when obviously she was Zelina was on the mic and then Liv went to talk and all you could hear him was going sloppy seconds. Sloppy,
yeah, because she said, "I don't know why you would want Rhea Ripley's sloppy seconds."
And did you? And obviously Zelina's just gone. Bleh, bleh.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's but no, like obviously, yeah. And then she then went and got JD and Finn the tag team shot.
Truth.
I think that Miz and Truth could be on course for a little mini rivalry now, like a little heated battle.
Maybe because Miz is obviously going to start to get annoyed with the fact that Truth is just so stupid.
I think, and also though, I think that this. It is a gimmick because of obviously what it is, but I think that it's sort of run its course now. These two, like it's.
I think so. We've seen Awesome Truth years ago,
but they've had their moment. They've had that wrestle. Like Truth got his moment. Miz obviously got their moment.
Miz got another one, yeah.
And then they've had a fun ride being tag team champions, but I think now it was the right time for them to lose the belt.
Yeah, and then, I think so. And it was a good way to do it with Liv with Liv tricking Truth and Truth being friends with Truth and saying, "Look, I think he likes me, but I really want to get his friends to like me, and I think I can give them a gift." And then I just love the fact that she walks away and he goes, "I always like that, Carmella."
And also in that segment though, because he was like, "I love Finn, I like Dom, but JD, I hate him.
He's got an abnormally big head.
He was never in the Judgment Day. I hate that guy."
Truth is just great. I love the fact that he turns around and he goes, "I'm one half of the World Tag Team Champions." Are you? She plays into it, goes out and he's like, "I can make it happen. Oh, will you, Truth? Will you, Truth?" He plays it so well. I love him. It's just he is so funny, and it doesn't matter if he's playing stupidity or like when I think one of my favorite moments from him recently was where he sat at the announce booth with The Miz, Pat McAfee, and Michael Cole. And they're watching DIY in the ring. And he goes, "Yeah, Shawn Michaels in their ring." You can see Cole from the camera angle is just dying. He's trying not to laugh. He's completely broken. And he says to Pat, they're talking, but Michael Cole says something. He goes, "Yeah, Cole, you smell like poo." No, pool. He says, "You smell like pool," as in pool water. And McAfee goes, "Yeah, Cole, you smell like poo." And he goes, No, it smells like pool too. And he goes, "DX up in here." and then Mrs. breaking, Pat's breaking, and then he says something and he goes, "Yeah, watching Shawn Michaels up in there do his thing." I don't know how Truth says this stuff and doesn't break himself.
He doesn't crack at all, though, does he? Like, you watch him, he just doesn't crack. No sign.
I think he must
of
wake
him.
up every morning. He must wake up every morning before he goes to the whatever arena they're at and goes, right, who are we breaking today and how am I doing it?
I mean, he's cracked pretty much everyone that he's attempted to.
He's so good with it. And like you said, the fact that he cannot break, like you see people try not to break and they're so easily broken. But
Yeah.
Truth, I've never seen him break, even when he does it. And he knows he's funny. He knows he's funny.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I think
he knows he's a proper comedian.
He is, yeah. He's so good with it. And I don't know, I'd love to know if he writes his own stuff and goes to creative, right, this is what I want to do. Or if it's written in for him. I've got a sneaking suspicion it's him. And I would love for it to be him.
I think of a lot of it is done off the bat as well, though. I don't think I think he's just, he knows,
Oh, I
he's
agree,
always got a knack for saying in the moment stuff. And I think most of what he's saying is coming
I think he's
straight.
one person, there's very few people in the past that have been given freedom to say what they want to say without a script. John Cena was one of them. Ric Flair was always one of them. I think The Rock and Triple H have always been a couple, and Stone Cold. It's very few people that have been gone from Vince when, in the Vince era to, right, you can go out and say what you want to say. We know 100% you're going to, but Truth must be one of those people that go, okay, you kill it every time. You make everybody laugh. And yeah, you can just say what you want to say.
Oh yeah, like that. You give them you give them their own personality, then you're rocking it. Like some people do need to run off a script in just to help themselves keep on the straight and narrow. But some people, when they go off script, and they can be.
Well, look at Sammy. Sammy's
Perfect
another
for
one.
it. Yeah.
Like
The
that
amount of
whole
times he's
Uzi,
cracked
when he
the
said about
whole bloodline.
the whole
He's even cracked Roman Reigns.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. Like that whole Uzi line when he said, "Forgive him, Tribal
He's not
Chief."
been feeling Uzi.
He's not feeling very Uzi. And then you could just see all of them break. Heyman in the background. Roman's breaking on camera and going, no, you're going to look this way. You're going to look with me. We're going to do this together. It's great. But yeah, he broke them so many times, Sammy did. The way that he was into, he's like, we're going to go to Dunkin' Donuts. These guys love Dunkin' Donuts. Or whatever it was, I can't remember. But yeah, and it was, what was it, Waffle House? I think it was Waffle House or something like that. But I love it when these characters come out and they're in their element, and you can tell they're genuinely having fun, and you can tell that the people on the receiving end of it are also having just as much fun, because it makes for light-hearted entertainment as well as the heavier side of it with the promos and the rivalries and stuff. It gives it a really nice balance.
It's I'm enjoying it when they're allowed that, like you say, that creative freedom to express themselves a lot more.
Yeah.
And like I say, ever since Vince has gone, they've all been at it. Like
everybody's just having a hell of a time.
How Michael Cole is just more himself now. Like you see, because they've got these new cameras in the
they sit underneath the thing, and
and
well, that's the camera that caught him laughing when Truth said about Shawn Michaels and that, saying that you smell a pool and stuff like that. You can just see him cracking,
and you see how much more fun he's having, especially with Pat at his side. Like that banter.
Him and Pat get on so well. Yeah, they've got the best. I think they've got a great relationship as a commentary team. And if you look at the commentary teams of the past, could you imagine without Vince what Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross would be? The amount of fun that they would be having. I think that would be be incredible. But yeah, I love it. I'm like you. It's so refreshing to see that all of these people that have been there for so long, and they've gone from this era of, Vinnie Mac to now this new era where he's nothing to do with it, and all of a sudden that weight has been lifted, and everybody's like, let's enjoy this. What it is, we get one life. It's our dream job. Let's make the most of it. Yes, we can be serious, but also let's make sure that we soak it all in and have fun along the way.
Yeah, and they're not being stupid with it. They're actually using it properly. That freedom, the leash is off, and they're not taking advantage.
Yeah, and I think TKO have done a great job keeping Triple H in that creative position. I was worried that because of his relationship with Vinny and everything like that, that he might have been shoved out the door. And I'm so thankful that he's been able to keep Shawn Michaels in NXT, because he's cooking over there as well. He's making a full English breakfast over there and doing a great job. And Trips is doing a hell of a job as well. And I love Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce. I think as GMs, they're great.
Yeah, they have been a breath of fresh air, and the fact that you got consistency within the GMs as well, as opposed to before. It was just a constant merry-go-round of
every 2 weeks.
You'd remember the days when with Smackdown before, when you had Teddy Long for God knows how long.
Yeah.
I know his famous words every week were, "Here's your next opponent, The Undertaker."
The Undertaker, yeah.
He would say it every week, but you still had a consistent GM at that point.
Yeah.
And then, after that, it was just a merry-go-round.
It was, because you had people come in, like you had, Mick Foley,
Vicky Guerrero for a little while.
Vicky Guerrero, I know, it's crazy, but I'm glad to see the consistency. I'm glad to see that they're all having fun. Getting back to in-ring action, I'm loving this rivalry between Sheamus and Ludwig. The match between Braun and Ludwig was great. I think they both did really well. Good chemistry. It's great to see Braun in higher scale matches as well. I love that interception of Sheamus. How good was that knee? But
the camera angle was
on the other side of it,
though.
Camera angle was perfect. Delivery was perfect. But props to Ludwig. I know he didn't fall to the floor straight away, and he went slowly, but he sold that knee like it was just great. I love the way he sold it. I love the way the Breaker was there, just sitting there getting his breath back and going like, "What the hell is happening?" Sheamus is dominating this guy, and then Sheamus goes to put him through the table. Breaker's like, "No, I'm just going to break you in half for the sake of it. You got yourself involved in my match
with Ludwig
I'm
up in the air as well."
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Cut you down. So it's
nice to see
Bronson. Where this is going though, because what's been announced though is Sammy versus Bron for the IC title,
and Ludwig is
we'll say
tied up with Sheamus. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah, because obviously there was that little segment that Ludwig had, and he declared himself for Money in the Bank, but that's gone out the window because there's 2 spots left. One is going on SmackDown next week, and if Drew gets his shot,
Raw,
then it'll be Drew. So,
likely.
This Ludwig versus Sheamus rivalry is great though. It's a proper.
I love it. It's great. I think it's 2 big, talented guys that have got that tenacity, got the passion, and it's great that we can finally see Ludwig away from Gunther and see exactly what he's capable of as a solo. And I know that we already know what he's capable of, seeing him in tag matches, but now we can see his character develop even more. And I like his character. I think his character's great. I love the fact that he's this arrogant, narcissistic asshole that just wants to fucking batter everybody. And I think it's fantastic. Personally, I think he's going to work well.
Yeah, and Sheamus is Sheamus. He is just that
banger,
that
after
Irish,
banger.
That Irish Mac that we've always known. He is. He's no different. There's no need to change his character at all.
I love Sheamus because Sheamus is at the moment. Sheamus is a fan favorite. Everybody loves Sheamus. He panders to the crowd, but the one thing I do miss about Sheamus is heel Sheamus. Sheamus was amazing when he first came into the big picture, and he went over after John Cena for the WWE Championship and stuff. He just decimated everybody, and I want to see that again. And don't get me wrong, his character now is great, and you can still keep him as a face, but just give him that bit of dominance again. But again, it's hard to do when you've got somebody the size and talent of Ludwig and Braun.
Yeah, he's more of going to be in the picture just to elevate those two more, because then they're like more of a
bona
future than
fide.
what
He's got that
Sheamus
legacy,
is.
yeah. Whereas he's got that legacy already. He's, other than the IC Championship, he's won everything there is to win. He's been King of the Ring. I think he's won the Royal Rumble. I may be confused. He's tag team champion, States champion, world champion, WWE champion. He's done everything there is to do. So
But
if you can beat a guy like Sheamus, that instantly, like you say, just steps you up the ladder a few rungs.
I still think that there's a possibility that a fatal four-way could happen for this IC title, though, between the four of them. Because
there's still, like you said, there's still a couple of weeks ahead before it goes ahead. There's all the time in the world to
Sheamus
change
has
it.
said that he wants it. Obviously, Bron is in the hat already, and Ludwig's after Sheamus, but Ludwig won't pass on an opportunity to win a bit of gold. On his own, and it's a bit of gold that Gunther's already held. So
I was just about to say, and it gives the
that,
Imperium a bit of revenge if he was to win it, because he's the one that's taken it back to Imperium after Sammy took it from them.
Yeah, but then I don't even think. Well, Ludwig's moved away from Gunther, so there is no Imperium.
Well, true, but where is Gunther? I haven't seen him where's he gone?
Well, obviously he come out during Seth and Priest's promo, which I thought was a bit pointless because there was no need for him to say what he said. He could have just said that on Instagram or Twitter or something. Like, it was one of those, you could have put it in an email.
It's probably more to get the crowd to remember, Seth's back, but don't let it overshadow the fact that there is a guy that's got a guaranteed opportunity at SummerSlam.
Because he hasn't fought since that King of the Ring tournament.
Exactly.
It's a bit. I'm a bit surprised by that.
Where's he been?
And when is he going to fight again before SummerSlam? Because that's when his opportunity is. So,
well, yeah. I mean, you've got 2 weeks until Money in the Bank, and then we've got SummerSlam's in August, right?
Yeah, SummerSlam.
We're in July in Money in the Bank, and then the next paper, the PLE after that, is SummerSlam.
But
so he's got, say, 6-7 weeks.
That'd be nearly 3 months.
Yeah.
If he doesn't fight before SummerSlam, so
exactly. So they need to get him in
some warm-up matches or something in there, like just get him involved.
I love the fact that Seth came back. That was a nice surprise that Seth came back. The fact that they kept it so quiet and that it was so well hidden that he was coming back and it was out of the blue. But is it too soon? I don't mean that. Is he ready? I mean, is it too soon? We all knew he was taking time off. He did so well at WrestleMania, and I think he was just going to be away a bit longer. That's what I'm not mad that he's back at all. Seth.
Well, that's what we all thought, and then all of a sudden, he appeared, and then now he's got his rematch.
Yeah,
and he's again been ever present since. He was obviously on there this week, just gone.
Yeah,
there's no doubt that he'll be on there again this coming Monday.
I've got no doubt he'll be there at Money in the Bank either, even if it's just in the capacity of. I think he'll come down and join the commentary crew.
He's got his match, hasn't he, at Money in the Bank?
Oh yeah, of course he has got his match. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking but it is nice to see him back. I mean, I want him to win, but I think it's still Priest's time to keep it until SummerSlam.
I think the only way Priest loses is by some money interference or something's going to cost
Finn, Liv Morgan,
Finn and Liv to cost him, or they do it wrong in a sense that Finn tries to cost Damien, ends up helping Damien, but Damien sees that Finn has obviously tried to go against him, and then that leads to a Finn-Damien clash where then Finn gets a shot, tries to work his way to a shot at the title, and then to kick Priest out of Judgment Day himself.
Maybe, but then again, you've also got the next month
Demon comes
against
back.
Priest. Yeah, but when's Mummy coming back? Is it SummerSlam? Do you reckon she's coming back at SummerSlam?
Well, apparently, there's rumours that she's coming back sooner rather than later.
I reckon.
And then if you look at it, it looks like Liv may have a challenger in Zelina for her
Yeah, so
title.
they're
So
gonna push Zelina for now.
could that
I mean,
be
she's
a
not a bad
match?
choice. Zelina's a good talent. She's talented in the ring.
And then
You
obviously
know, she was
Mummy
great in TNA. When she was in TNA, Zelina was great.
comes out and doesn't cost Liv because she would want to take it from Liv. So
Yeah, she wants to be the one
sort
to
of
get it
just
back. Yeah,
comes down and beats the shit out of Liv.
I
And
reckon.
obviously it
Has
comes
Dom
down
got a
to a
match at Money in the Bank?
disqualification. No, obviously he ain't. He don't wrestle. He just does stuff. Although there might be a case of him versus Ray again in the works.
Well, with Zelina and Liv at the moment, and him being torn between that and what he did to Ray on Raw, then yeah, potentially, because Ray doesn't have a story at the moment. You know,
No,
he was
Ray's
obviously
just.
there as LWO. He was there protecting Zelina and
He's not even
trying
gone
to tear
after
them apart.
Carlito yet, which I find weird.
Yeah,
All
well, I mean, is
this
it just maybe Ray's just too soft in his older age?
Dragon Lee. They've only had one match against him, and it was just a
I
standard tag
know.
match,
Again,
really.
it's a
It died,
storyline that
didn't
could
it?
have
That
been good
storyline.
that they've just not picked up on for whatever reason.
You
Yeah,
can't really revive it now. You got to move
no,
on from it.
it's too far gone. Yeah, you need to move on. And I think the only way to do that really is but hold on, there's a way around this. If Liv gets herself into Judgment Day and she is tied up with Dom and Ray are going at it because there's Alina and Liv and they're getting in between, then they're linked back to Carlito anyway because Carlito's trying his hand at Judgment Day as well. So there is kind of an angle, but I don't think it's an angle such that needs to be explored. I think they missed the boat with it.
Yeah, it's one that's like it's run past the you run past the
Yeah,
door and you can't. There's no
I think
going
so.
back now.
Yeah, I
It's
think
a
so. I think it's
shame,
too far
but
gone. Carlito's too far in now with helping the Judgment Day, and then they've got this whole weird angle with Braun Strowman still and the
I
Judgment
still
Day,
don't
which I don't understand at all.
because
He's obviously just, he's got a vendetta with Bobblehead Jim for whatever reason,
but yeah, there's
especially
like
Bobblehead Jim.
it's such an odd angle.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just don't understand it. Like what?
I know. I don't get it. I mean, what's
Like
the
why did
angle
it
with
even
Strowman at the
start?
moment?
What was the point of it starting?
Yeah,
Where's it going? Unless there's some sort of long-term storytelling here where it ends up being Judgment Day versus White Six, like far down the line, and it all stemmed from this, and Braun like ends up joining
Braun
the
has
White
called on the
Six,
Fireflies.
or he's
I mean,
called upon his
he is
brothers or something.
He is ex Wyatt family. There is that link there that everybody who's anybody as a wrestling fan will not forget that.
So
And
yeah,
go,
is
well,
it?
why didn't you get Braun involved? Because Braun could have easily played. He could have easily played the pig, for example.
But yeah, is there some long-term storytelling here? Which, okay, if you pull it off like
Again,
far down the line, then perfect.
so many options to potentially choose from. But
Yeah,
I've got a feeling Ray's going to come down with Zelina to the match with Liv, and I think Dom's going to come down partway through the match
tend to
to
cost Liv, but yet help her.
well,
Screw
not even
over
that.
his
I think
dad again.
I think it's more to go at Ray, but inevitably it's going to distract Zelina. Liv's going to pick up the win, but then this would be the fucking shocker. This would put her spanner in the works. She jumps at Dom to give him a cuddle. He's like kind
Rhea's
of
music drops.
standoffish, and then all you hear is, "This is my brutality." Dom shits himself, pushes Liv away.
Or just can't get her
Yeah,
off.
just can't get her off. Yeah. That would be great, right?
Oh, that'd be yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be great if he's just getting, or maybe on a Monday Night Raw, and he just finally managed to turn him, and he's like, okay, Mummy's not coming back. This woman is after me. She's treated me nice. She's helped the Judgment Day. She's showing me that she could be good to have around. and then maybe he goes in for, I don't know, something not too bad.
Well, they're just all having a celebration in the ring with the Judgment Day as well. She's like been accepted, and then
they like going for a group
happy.
or a group cuddle where they're all raising each other's hand. Dom grabs her hand or something to help raise the hand, and there's all 5 of them there, and
The
then all of a
music just
sudden Rhea's
drops.
music drops.
That'd be they're all their faces just like, oh shit.
Especially Dom. I
Could you
did think
imagine?
Zelina's Dirty D line was great as well. She said, I don't know why you're going after Dirty Dom, but she said you clearly wanted his sloppy seconds and chasing that Dirty D. I was like, you absolute savage.
We got to start getting used to all this again in wrestling, though, because obviously with Triple H's comments saying that it's all going to be unfiltered.
Now, aren't they? Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, like Boss said in the stream, unfiltered Liv is going to kill me. Unfiltered Liv is going to ruin a lot of men's lives.
It's going to be absolutely insane. But what I want to touch on, right? So, finally got to see Karrion Kross in a match, and he won. And I didn't realise this. Obviously, at the end of when he done the pin, he held up his hands like that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know why?
No, go on.
That's 7 world champions he's beaten now, and he's still not been pushed.
So who? Kofi, Drew, Bobby Lashley. That's 3.
He's beaten Priest as well.
Priest, okay.
I can't remember all the names, but there's 7. There were 7 on the list.
I'm going to Google it right now. Bear with me.
But that's why
I did wonder. I did think why.
So I don't know if that was kind of a little dig to say I am still relevant on this roster.
Yeah,
I'm beating world champions. Push me. I'm here.
Give me what I need.
Give me the shot I deserve.
The 7 current and former champions Karrion Kross has defeated Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Jeff Hardy, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, and Kofi Kingston.
It's not a bad CV, is it?
That's a hell of a list.
In fact, you've got Finn, AJ.
Why is he not being pushed? I said this, and I'm going to keep saying it until I'm blue in the face. I've said it on stream. I've said it here. I've said it on Instagram. I've said it everywhere I can possibly say it. Drop Karrion Kross from the Final Testament. Leave AOP with Paul Ellery. Push him as a singles competitor with Scarlett. Have Scarlett come out and be a bit like Lana was, and talk up the hype and get him in matches, and get him pushed. Even if you push him into the IC title picture,
he'd be great in that. A rivalry with him and
exactly.
Braun.
Him and Braun would be a great rivalry.
Even him versus Sammy.
I've got a feeling Braun is going to take the title. If it stays a 1-on-1, I think this is where Sammy loses.
Yeah. There's no way Sammy overcomes this giant as well. He beat Gunther. It was a perfect moment, but
I love Sammy. You know I do.
There's no way.
I love Sammy, and
you're giving Braun his first loss in WWE on the main roster to Sammy. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'd love to say Sammy takes it, but Braun takes it on this one. Braun comes out the champion. So push Karrion Kross to attack Braun. Give him that TikTok timer again, where he's going TikTok like he did to McIntyre. Get him to focus on Braun for a couple of weeks. Interrupt his match with a couple of vignettes.
Yeah, but actually, push it. Don't.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, just drop it, and then he's randomly just in
push it.
The
Get
Final Testament
him a little
doing
bit.
Fuck all.
Exactly. Get him to play some mind games with Braun. Get him to show up in Braun's matches, a couple of little vignettes here and there, and then out of nowhere, SummerSlam, Karrion Kross, Braun Breaker. Fuck me. Great match. You got 7 weeks. You can make it happen so easily.
Literally, this. It would be great to see. He's got a great CV. He's not just a jobber. He's literally
has got a great CV.
Proved that he can be.
So have you noticed
one of the top guys?
I noticed in his match against Kofi, he's smaller than he was. He's lost quite a bit of size.
And then that's probably because of a lot of inactivity in the ring.
Always has he taken the juice away? Who knows? Speculation.
But yeah, like
he's
that.
a lot smaller size-wise. But then again, if you look at the past of Randy used to be really small, and now look at the size of him. He is fucking massive.
AJ Styles is another one.
Yeah,
He's
true.
he's he's bulked and swolled up a lot.
I think AJ Styles is the biggest he's ever been right now. Yeah.
Like there's quite a few of them, yeah, that just
But yeah,
they
carrying Cross,
fluctuate.
like you say, I didn't realise the 7. I knew there was obviously a meaning behind it. I
Yeah,
wasn't sure of the meaning, but I love the fact that he's highlighting that because I've destroyed 7 champions, one of which is current champion,
yeah.
right? One of
One
which
of
is Drew McIntyre, who's in that picture.
Another one that's been took Cody Rhodes to his limit twice at the
Yeah,
two recent PLEs.
yeah, exactly. And has
Obviously,
been a former 2-time WWE champion.
a legend in Rey
United States
Mysterio.
champion. Exactly. Rey Mysterio's won everything. He is a Grand Slam champion. You know, Rey Mysterio has literally won everything there's to win. He's won Royal Rumbles. He's won the IC Championship, United States. He has won everything there is to win. I think the only thing I've not seen Rey
Finn
win is
Balor
King of
as
the Ring.
well. Like you don't just beat Finn Balor
No,
back in the day. Like so, yes,
no,
another
absolutely.
like Kofi's not one that is not a jobber. Just because
No,
because he got these moments to be world champion, he's never been a jobber anyway.
no.
So it's not like he's
Kofi's a
beaten
great talent.
anyone. But yeah,
And
7.
I think they did Kofi dirty with his title match against Lesnar. To have him lose in
Yeah,
11 seconds was...
but that's Vince. That's Vince for you though. That's
Yeah.
another classic Vince
And that's
moment.
just, again, that's the size of Rock against a smaller guy.
Get the big guy to
Vince has
decimate
gone,
the
right,
small
okay.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it
Like
shouldn't have been the case. Kofi
thinking
should
it'll
have at
make
least got a few
great,
hits
but
off. Yeah.
yeah, like give him a few months in the job with it and see what he's got. Not just let's put him up against Lesnar.
Yeah, exactly
Like,
that. Exactly
why?
that. So, from the information that we've got so far, what are you looking forward to the most? What match are you looking forward to the most at Money in the Bank? And what are your predictions with the information? Because obviously we haven't got all the information with regards to the ladder matches.
No,
But with the
I'm
limited info that we do have, what are you calling right now?
just having a look now. So, I mean, the way that the Money in the Bank match is shaping up, actually got some decent. You've got 4 decent players in there at the moment. You've got Chad, Jay, Andrade, and Carmelo so far.
Yeah, right, yeah. And then obviously potentially Drew's going to be in there.
And possibly Santos.
And then let's say Santos as well. I'm going to say Drew or Jay. It has to be Drew or Jay, I think.
Obviously, everything leads to Jay winning it, but there's always a but.
Yeah, of course there is.
Drew, as well. There's give him the thing he hates the most, and let him cash it, and then he cashes it in.
Yeah,
because he even said as well that if he wins it, he'll cash it in that night.
Yeah.
So he's put another angle to it. Chad Gable, like
he deserves it. Chad deserves
that's
a
another push.
I wanted him to have that win against Sammy. I honestly did.
Andrade and Carmelo, I think this is more of an elevation match for PLEs to come and where they're heading.
Yeah,
I don't think they're in the mix,
especially
to
with
actually
Carmelo's records so far since the main wrestler, because he's had a couple of wins and they've been by the skin of his teeth, like the quick roll up win against Randy. He hasn't won cleanly, but he's won. But he's also taken a couple of losses.
He's not lost cleanly either. He's always been done dirty.
Exactly. So I think, like you say, I think for him, this is okay. Show the world what you can do. You will get there. It's just going to take a bit of time. But
this
right
always
now,
is, though, isn't it?
You are in there to elevate the match.
This Money in the Bank match, like with the 6 players that you get in there, it's a chance for the top guys that are in it, i.e. your Jay, your Chad, and possibly your Drew. Like those 3 they're already at the top level, but this is their way of saying, right, you've got to hit our level to the other guys now.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's their way of bringing them
absolutely that.
into that fold. See if they've got it. But yeah, I'll go with Jay at this moment, depending on the outcome of the confirmed other two. But yeah, Jay, I'd say women's
I
one's a
think it's
bit
got to
tough
be
to
Jay or
call
Drew.
because you've only got 3 in there so far.
Yeah,
Chelsea, Io, and Valkyria.
yeah.
I think Io Sky is a good shout though.
But then again, she won it last year. Doesn't stop her winning it this year, but she did win it last year.
Double Money in the Bank winner.
Yeah, could
I'm
well
going to
be.
stick with. I'm going to
But
stick with Io for now.
I'm
She's been
going to
quite
go with.
impressive lately as well.
Yeah, she has been. You're not wrong. So with the men's, I'm going to go Jay or Drew again. I have to say that with you. I'm with you on that. I think it should be Jay. I don't think Drew needs to win,
No, but
but he's got a point to make.
there is a good
So it
angle
does
for
make
him to
sense.
win
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
thing
So
he
I think either
despises the
or.
most.
But I think if they don't have Jay win it, then I think that's it for him. I think they need to back him off on all
It's a
this main event hype and
It's a
stuff.
character killer, which is unfortunate.
Yeah,
But at the same time, when you've got people like Drew McIntyre,
yeah.
you still got to push those guys because they are
Oh yeah, of
elite.
course you have.
You've
Absolutely,
still got to keep
absolutely.
them at the top. So, but yeah, I'm going with
Yeah,
Jay
so
in
that's a
that one
hard
at
one to
this.
call. I'm
And
going
then if,
Braun against Sammy.
yeah, I'm going Brom. At this
And in
point,
fact, I
if it
think if it
becomes a
goes
fatal
fatal
four
four
way,
way, I still think it's going to be Braun.
yeah, see that I don't know. I think Ludwig, if it's a fatal four way,
I think Ludwig is going to be so focused on Sheamus and vice versa that they're going to leave. I think they'll actually end up out in the arena somewhere, and it will leave Sammy and Braun to basically a one-on-one if that is the case, and
good
Braun will
shout.
take
Yeah,
advantage of that.
personal, taking it personal out the ring
Yeah,
makes
I think
sense.
so.
That
I think they'll be like, right, I'm going to kick the shit out of you all over this place.
mm.
I don't care about this match. I just want to get my hands on you. And yeah, and I think Braun's just going to take advantage of that, being that he'll still have his one-on-one with Sammy effectively, and that he'll decimate Sammy.
World heavyweight title match. Now this is an interesting one. I'll let you go
It is an
first.
interesting one because obviously Seth lost to Drew. Priest has then come out. Seth hasn't been around since then. We weren't sure how long he was going to be out. I love Seth. I think it's great that he's back, but I don't think it's time to give it back to him. I don't think he needs it. I think it makes sense for Priest to carry on as a champion at least until SummerSlam, if not longer. If Drew, put it this way, if Drew wins Money in the Bank, then Priest wins the WWE Championship. If
Oh
Jay
yeah,
wins,
100%.
then I see Seth winning. And I know it doesn't sound right, but I don't think Drew doesn't have a reason to win it if Seth is the champion, just
No,
purely because he
they've
won't
had
have that
their
same anger. He wants that anger. He wants to take that anger out that he has against Punk on Priest because Priest is the one that screwed him over because of Punk allowing that challenge, that open, that
and
open
losing
plan to happen on.
in his home country to Priest as well.
Yeah.
So
Or
there's more.
fucking hell, if he does win and he cashes in on the night, does he cash in to make it a triple threat match?
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, because then that way, and then if he wins it from that point, at least he can say that
He's undeniable then.
that's how you do it with the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, it's undeniable then because he can go, right. I've made you aware. I'm stepping up. I'm not blindsiding you. I've beaten both of you. I've come out. That's what Money in the Bank should be about. Punk,
Oh, good
bring your
shout.
snotty little ass to me because I'm going to beat you again.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, yeah. What I think though, yeah, Priest wins. I know I've said about the possibility of like a Finn or and Liv
Yeah,
interference to cost him, but I think he wins, and then obviously that then says to Seth that you don't get a shot at Priest's world title anymore. But what that will do on the lead up to
yeah,
SummerSlam is then Seth will keep making Priest's life hell and helping Gunther, so Gunther can win that match possibly. So he gets
Gunther
his
wins the
shot,
SummerSlam,
and then
and
he's
then he
back
can
in
go
the.
back in that running.
He's
Well,
back
that's what
into it.
happened with Brock Lesnar, wasn't it? And the whole Cody situation when Brock came back, because they turned around and said, "Well, you needed somebody that can't challenge for my championship," and that only really left one person, which was Lesnar. So when Lesnar came back, it was a case of, you lost to Roman, you can't challenge while he's champion. And then obviously they had that feud with Cody and Brock. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. I mean, it's hard. I want to see Jay win because I don't think Drew needs to win, but I think Drew also needs to win because he wants to. He's got that point to prove that he will cash it in a way where you will have an advance notice, even if it's 2 minutes. He's not going to blindside you with it. At least I don't think he will, because he hates it that much.
And then he gets to put Priest to bed finally, and then he can just solely focus on Punk.
But no, he can't though, can he? Because then he's got Gunther at SummerSlam.
Yeah. So then it becomes another.
And he's already had quite a storied history
and then
with
Priest
Gunther.
will have his rematch as well, to be fair. So yeah, and then fuck his head up even more. Not that like it's already fucked right now, but yeah.
And this is what I mean. It's hard to call it. I think Drew deserves to win it, and I think they should push that. But I don't see him winning it. I think it makes more sense for Jay to win it at this moment, because if he goes on to beat Priest or Seth or both, if he was to cash it in on that night like he said he wanted to, he then has to step up to Gunther. Let's face it, what's going to happen is not in the mindset to go after Gunther. Gunther's too much of a challenge to take your eye off the ball with.
Yeah, and then he'll lose it again, so then he's still not held it for too long.
Exactly. So then he's going to blame Punk because Punk's. So the best way forward for Drew is to come up short on Money in the Bank. Oh, fucking hell! Does Punk come out with Money in the Bank and take him out of the equation?
I was just had it in my head that Drew's on his way up the ladder and Punk comes out of nowhere and shoves the ladder,
and he's not fit to compete or something. Like attacks him while he's up the entrance ramp,
pushes
or something
the ladder
like
over,
that.
Pushes that ladder over, and
yeah. But I think the story between Punk and Drew is so hot right now. It makes no sense for Drew to become champion this moment.
No,
because
but then again,
he has to focus on Gunther.
It's a good match to put Drew in, because then it's another big match where he could get screwed over.
Yeah, exactly. I do see what you mean, but I think Priest retains. To go to Gunther. I think Gunther's time is coming. I think Gunther's time is coming. And I think if anyone's going to take it from Priest, it should be Gunther. I don't think it should be Seth to win and then potentially lose a month later to Gunther at SummerSlam.
No, it doesn't make sense, that.
No.
Not yet.
So I think Priest wins.
And then the other confirmed match you've got is the Bloodline versus Cody, Kevin, and Randy.
I can see Randy's going to turn on Cody.
I've seen a lot of these rumours as well, because with the Bloodline, I don't think Jacob Fatu can fight, because he's not allowed to travel internationally.
Oh shit! So I was going to guess he's got
so he
criminal
can't travel
record
because of his criminal record. So he has to stay.
Yeah,
he can only do American PLEs,
US soil shows. Yeah.
Whereas obviously this is in Canada, so he's not going to be able to travel, and then he's not going to be able to.
So it's going to be Solo, Tonga Loa, and Tama Tonga with Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have Randy, Kevin,
and Cody. Yeah, I could see this being the turning point of Randy stitching Cody up. I can't see the Bloodline losing again.
I think Bloodline are going to win. They'll leave Owens, Randy, and Cody in a battered mess inside the cage. Randy and Cody are going to get up. Actually, I think, do you know what's going to happen? Cody's going to get up first. He's going to go over to Randy. He's going to help Randy up. Randy's going to get to his feet. He's going to take one look at Cody and he's going to RKO him.
Oh, yeah, as if to say, you cost me that match. That's
but not
your
just
fault.
it's the little hints again. When he won the championship at WrestleMania against Roman, he had that hint of jealousy in his eye. There's been these little Easter eggs coming in from WE to set this up. Everybody wants to see this match anyway because of the history with Evolution, and that, you know, between the two of them, obviously Randy kicked Cody out of the Evolution, you know, beat him massively, and now Cody's evolved. He's in the limelight. Randy's come back from injury. He was taken out by the Bloodline. He's a bit pissed off that Cody was able to beat the Bloodline and he wasn't. And he's eyeing up that gold for one last time. Make him a 15-time champion.
That'd be, I would love to see that as well.
Yeah.
And
I
this
think that's what
rivalry
happens.
between them could be great though for a few months. Like,
I think that's what
really
happens. I think Bloodline, like you say, I think Bloodline win. I think they have to win because, again, it makes them look stupidly weak, especially when you've just added Jacob and you're getting this whole new storyline. And especially if Hikayo, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologise. But if he's coming in as well to make this faction even more dominant, they have to win again. I think they're going to get taken to the limit.
There could be a point where in the match that the Bloodline win due to Randy and Seth having a bit of tension, and then Randy's like wants the hot tag. Cody goes, and then Randy's like, actually, no, I'm going to watch you get hurt here.
Maybe.
And then obviously then he brings his reasons out on the Friday Smackdown after.
Yeah.
About why
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think.
And
I think Bloodline
Kevin's
win.
just going to be caught up in the middle of it all.
Yeah, because Kevin's going to want to side with Randy. But at the same time, look at what he did.
If Randy's going to be this horror, like he's going to go into legend killer mode.
Yeah.
He's not going to want Kevin by his side, so then he will possibly turn on Kevin as well.
Yeah. I don't think Kevin's angry enough to go after Randy after that as well. He's not in that angry state of mind. He's in that. He's fanboying over the fact that
you could even turn this into a triple threat for one of the PLEs, just for one, not long term.
And you couldn't be angry about it because Randy deserves to be in that picture, and KO is great for that picture as well.
So
I agree. I think Bloodline win, and I think Randy's going to turn on Cody. I think the Bloodline are going to batter them after the bell. Cody will be the first one up. He'll go and help Randy up. Randy's going to take one look at him, realise that Kev is down still, and he's going to RKO Cody, and then he's going to walk off and leave Kevin and Cody in a mess in the ring. He's not even going to check on Kevin.
Yeah, he's going selfish again. Turn selfish Randy.
He's going to become a solo Viper. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Randy we all know and love.
Exactly, and you look at how savage he was back in the day when he locked Triple H up and then kissed Stephanie on the lips while she was out cold and stuff like that, and the legend killer that was Randy Orton, the fact that he used to go after the Undertaker and, you know, went out of his way to play these crazy mind games. It makes perfect sense to bring that guy back to go against Cody.
Yeah, it's perfect Randy though. That's the best character.
So as Michael Cole would say, vintage Randy Orton.
Yep,
is what it is.
And we're getting more and more of that every match that he's in. So
yeah, we are absolutely
bring it back in full swing. Let's go.
Yeah, those hints of jealousy, I see that happening. And then obviously Zelina and Liv, just again, it makes sense that Liv wins. Zelina's good
if that's confirmed, but I don't know if it's going to be confirmed for Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but maybe not. But it will happen.
Still another Raw before.
Maybe that's what they're going to push for SummerSlam. Maybe they're going to push it for SummerSlam and build it up, build that tension while that story's going, with Liv trying to get in with the Judgment Day and Dom.
She does need to defend that title, though.
Yeah, she does. I mean, she's done it a couple of times in dark matches and once on a live show. But yeah, she does need to. If you look at the way Cody has defended the title already at live events multiple times, so is Priest. And Bayley for that matter as well.
Bayley's defended hers,
Bayley.
so...
And she's defended it once on a live show since she won it, and that was the night after she won it against Becky in a cage match.
Yeah, so she needs a proper little just heat of a rivalry, just for something for now, until tides it over till Rhea comes back. Then, because obviously
I think it
she
would make
relinquished
sense
that
to have her
title, so
as a,
she never lost it. So she was
I think it would make
straight back for that.
sense. I think it would make sense for Zelina to have the match at Money in the Bank. Liv wins, and then if Rhea does come back, it sets it up for SummerSlam.
Yeah, that big
And then
event.
Zelina's out
So
the picture. She's had her title match. She's out the picture. It's one of the big four. Rhea comes back, say 3 weeks beforehand, and says, "Right, me and you in X match at SummerSlam."
custody of Dom match. Let's go.
Custody of Dom match. It's going to be fucking Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. It's not even fucking Dominic Mysterio. I can't look at him and say Dominic Mysterio. It's Dominic Guerrero.
Oh,
I mean,
he's got the
every
look,
week it's more like Eddie.
the vest, the look, everything.
Yeah, man. And I love that he's paying homage to Eddie. I love that he's doing that. But seriously, I saw a Funko Pop come up on my Instagram the other day of Eddie, and I didn't look at the name. I knew in my mind it was Eddie, but when I looked at it, I had to do a double take because I was like, shit, they bought a new one out of Dom. Because I genuinely thought they'd bought a new Funko Pop out of Dom, but it wasn't. It was Eddie.
Mad, isn't it? It's mad.
Yeah, he looks so much like him. He looks so much like him, and like you say, he's got the wing gear and everything like that. I'm just waiting for him to come down to "We lie, we cheat, we steal" in a lowrider with some hydraulics.
Live as his passenger.
Yeah, Chavo Guerrero. Could you imagine if you brought Chavo Guerrero back with him as his manager?
Oh, that'd
Although
be great.
Chavo doesn't like the fact that they keep using Eddie in the storylines and stuff. He hates it. He hates that the WWE have done that. He
Yeah,
said it in an interview before that I don't think they should be doing that. It's disrespectful. But he's got his opinion. He's entitled to it. He's close to Eddie.
I don't
Maybe he
think
knows that Eddie might not have liked it. I don't know.
they're not disrespecting his name though. That's what I don't get. They're
No,
not.
that's it. They're not disrespecting his name. And I know that Dom has got this little
And they
shimmy that
don't
he does that Eddie did.
overuse it or anything to that
No,
effect. Like they don't.
I don't think so. I don't think they've tarnished it at all. I don't think you could ever tarnish Eddie's name, actually. He's one of those wrestlers that he was so good in the ring. He was so good on the mic. He was so good from what everybody knows as a person, as a dad, he was just an all-round 100% genuine guy.
Mhm.
And I don't think anything could tarnish his name unless it was something seriously sinister, and that would have come out by now. He's been gone for such a long time now that would have come out by now if there was anything creeping in a closet somewhere. So I don't think there's anything you could do to tarnish Eddie's name. If anything, if they pushed it too far, they're going to tarnish Dom's name or whoever's associated with that story.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so
But yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be good next week. Obviously this week we're 2 days away from SmackDown. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the build up on the Bloodline with Fatu coming into the picture. Cody, obviously Cody came out to the save for CM Punk as well. Totally forgot to mention that.
But yeah, that was more Bloodline related though, wasn't it? For what
It
they'd done
was
to
more
him the week
Bloodline
before.
related. Yeah, it was, but still, I think Punk and Cody do have a good relationship, and look at them build up into to Royal Rumble. Punk was happy to see Cody, and vice versa. They were the last two, within the last three of the Royal Rumble. It was nice to see, but it was also nice to see that Drew showed up again,
Oh yeah,
and that he hasn't quit. It's always amazing to see people on the internet going, "Oh my god, he's quit! He's quit!" No, he really hasn't. It's a work. The guy has just signed a brand new 5-year contract that he posted all over Instagram. That he was happy that The Rock was the first person that The Rock has ever reached out to give a gift to say thank you for re-signing. He was overly proud of that, and you should be. There was no way he was going to quit. Of course, it was a fucking work. And if you believe that, then you're a fucking mark. you're the audience that they want all the time. But it's great. I get that people believe in it, and they do. Like I've said to you before, do come across moments and you go, "Holy shit, is that real? Is that legit?"
Make it like that. Characterize it.
It's
Get
still real to
get
me.
everyone
Damn it.
believing. Why not? Why not? But
Yeah.
we've got 3 episodes. Not 3 episodes. 3 shows before the PLE
Yeah, so
and
you've got
Money in the
Smackdown
Bank.
this week and then next week and then the Saturday. Was it
Raw,
the
Smackdown. Then 6th.
is it the 6th of July? Saturday,
Back
6th of
to
July.
back to the early morning PLEs over here.
I
The
fucking hate it, dude.
1 o'clock jobby.
I hate it. The only way I can watch it all is if I sit in my laptop and in a party with somebody. Otherwise, I'll be on my phone and I'll be laying in bed and I'll fall asleep and I'll wake up every 10 minutes. Be like when the last time you streamed.
Yeah,
you know you shouldn't be falling asleep because something's going on around you, but your body's like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
body's had enough, but
Yeah, exactly.
I'm getting
But
used to the
no, I'm
late
excited
nights
for it.
again.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I think it's going to be a good PLE. And I think it's a great one to set up ready for SummerSlam. And there's a lot that can open up for SummerSlam. And I really do think that it's going to be. Rhea's got to come back. Rhea has to come back for SummerSlam.
She's coming back. Don't worry, she's coming back.
Yeah, I know she is. I'm looking forward to her coming back. It's going to be good. It's
Oh
going to be
yeah,
good to have
baby.
her back. But
I
I still
think on
think
that note,
I was just about to say I still think Liv should change everything from Daddy to Pappy. It would just hit that little bit different. Like she saw that, she was wearing that shirt that said Daddy's girl. It should say Pappy's girl.
happy.
I think it would just hit that little bit different.
Oh, that'd be beautiful, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, on that note, as always, dude, absolute pleasure to catch up with you. And I love the fact that we hash everything out in one episode, and we get through everything we want to talk about. Because although we send each other like little snippets throughout the week, we don't discuss anything properly until the night. So
No.
I never know what points you really want to hit on, and you never know what points I really want to hit on, unless we say, "Oh, I'm bringing this up on the pod." I love that because I'm like, you'll bring up something totally that I've gone, "Oh shit, I missed that," but fucking hell, yeah, that was great. I love the fact that it's just off the cuff, and it's not pre-scripted for us to know what's happening. But also, people listening, just so you know, in 2 weeks' time, it is confirmed. We did have some special guests set up. Unfortunately, due to some personal things, they weren't able to attend and join just yet. But in 2 weeks' time, I have confirmed that Sullivan King, who is a professional wrestler here in the UK, has wrestled for the likes of WAW, SOS, and multiple other organisations. Former tag team champion, world champion for retrospectively the organisations he has worked in. He's a fantastic guy, an amazing wrestler. He is going to be joining us to chat wrestling as a fan and as a wrestler. So if you guys have got any questions for Sullivan, check him out as well. Go give him a follow on Instagram, Sullivan King. Check out some of his work on YouTube. He is a great guy, but he'll be joining us in 2 weeks' time with me and JJ. So that's going to be fucking amazing. I'm so looking forward to that.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, it's going to be great. But on that note, ladies and gents, thank you so much for joining us again for another, what is it, coming up 2-hour episodes. We could go on for so much longer, as always. JJ, great to chat to you, as always, my man.
You too, my man.
Exciting times ahead. And ladies and gents, thank you so much. We will see you again next week for another episode. Episode 10 next week, dude.
Don't forget to smash the follow, the subs, the
Yes,
shares,
absolutely.
the likes, the comments.
Jump on social media.
Just hit us up, guys, with anything. We're all over socials. You know where to find us. Turnbuckle
Exactly.
Talk.
And if those of you that know us through Discord, drop us DMs. If you want to ask questions, if you want to bring up, particular subjects, or even if you fancy coming on the pod yourself, let us know. Let us know, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, baby. But have a great week, guys.
Yeah, take care, everybody. We'll see you very, very soon.
Peace out.
Ciao.